If y'all see me squint, do not come for me.
Hey, what's
What's
up? How you doing?
good?
I'm chilling. How you?
I am great. I'm blind. I have my glasses on over here. I'm trying to look at you. So
That's
if
what's
I'm
up.
doing this,
Okay, okay.
and
Quentin.
I put my ring light on to give me more lighting, and
Okay,
so
okay.
with my glasses on, you can see like the. You see what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yeah, I got you, got you, got you.
That's not cute. So what's
Uh,
good with you,
I'm chilling. I'm chilling. Trying to start get over all these Supreme Court rulings and
man?
it's a new world out here. It's a new world out here. You know.
Look, I wish this was filled with alcohol. It's just bad soda that I don't need.
Okay, okay.
But baby, look, it's a
Hey,
lot to talk about. Okay.
yes it is. Yes it is. Yes it is.
Well, thank you for
Crazy.
joining my live. This is your first time tapping in. Where are you
Absolutely.
from?
New York.
New York. What part?
Manhattan, Harlem, close to Harlem.
Okay, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Have you ever been to VA? That's where I live.
Um, a long time ago, Virginia State, you know,
Okay.
yeah,
Mhm. Yeah.
had a lot of people go there, you know.
Family or friends?
Both, both.
Okay.
I
Okay.
got a lot of family in the South, though.
You do?
Mhm.
Yeah, I've been here in Richmond, Virginia since 2018. I'm still adjusting, but I like it here because I was in the Virginia Beach side, and I'm like, it's not really for me. But so far, Richmond is where it's at for me, and it's like kind of close to Cali a little bit.
Okay,
Sometimes it comes to like when they have events and stuff, but no place is like home. But
all right, that's
it's
dope.
better than it's better than other place. But anyway, so yes,
Yeah,
and so for everybody who's watching, thank you for being present. If you want to tap in, just send me an invite. I'm gonna get it going. Um, this is just so one rule about my show: you can talk about whatever you want to. You can curse, you can
okay,
express. Just be respectful. And it is what it is. This is my brand new page. My new
okay,
video page that I'm going to be, what's it called? Trademarking soon, so nobody can steal it from me because you never know
okay.
where it may take me. But
That's a fact.
so yeah. So do you want to get into some serious topics, or you want to kind of do something light and then move into the big stuff?
We can get light, and then we can go into the rough stuff, you know.
Okay. Okay. Well, one of the things that I wanted to talk about, because it's kind of mind-boggling to me, because as Black people, right,
Right,
we get a little bit of space to do what we want to do, how we want to do it, where we want to do it, and to be able to have ownership of it. You know what I'm saying?
right.
When it comes to comedy, Black people, we can pretty much get away with a lot.
Yeah,
The only time that there ever really is an issue is if it's topics about like the LGBTQ plus community,
right.
or if we talk too much about politicians, then you know that this color people will come for us. No shade, but it's just the truth. You know what I'm saying?
This a fact. This a fact.
And so, one of the comedians that I really have respected for many years, like I've never really been like a super fan, but I've always respected her work, and her career just kind of took a turn for the worse recently. And at first I thought it was more of like, okay, is she doing it for attention? Are
Right.
people really just delusional? But then once people get in too deep, or they kind of start to expose the real shit that's going on,
Right.
then you're like, okay, maybe this person isn't out of their mind. So I'm 50-50 with this individual. And you already probably know who I'm talking about, which is Monique. Okay.
Right. Right.
I think she's cool. I think she's a funny comedian. I've seen her work. I've even seen her act, and I think her acting is great.
Okay.
I do believe that she was deserving of that. Was it Oscar she got? Was it Oscar?
Yes. Oscar or Emmy? Oscar, I think.
I get so confused with like the whole Oscar
Yeah.
Academy. I don't know. She got a trophy.
A good award.
Hello. Yeah. We'll say that. So people are saying because Monique got married to this man that she calls daddy, right?
Right. Yeah.
They're saying that Monique is just different and she's being controlled, And she never really was problematic back in the day like this. Like, she would express her herself. You know,
Right.
there's a professional way to express yourself, and then there's a way that'll get you blacklisted.
Right.
And so I can touch a little bit on that because as an artist, I'm a singer and a rapper.
Okay.
And being a female, I spent many years trying to stand up for myself and expose men that were unprofessional with me, that, you know, sent advances, unwanted advances, and all these things, right?
Right.
But I realized that I couldn't just say, John did it, Tim did it, Michael did it, go get him. Because
Right.
when you do that, even if you are telling the truth, people may flip that back onto you and be like, well, did you want it? What did you do to them? You know
Right.
what I'm saying? Like, and start going through my pictures and, well, I see you dressed in scantily clad. Maybe, you know. So
Right.
with Monique and her situation, when she claimed that she was wronged by Tyler Perry, Oprah, and Lee Daniels, right?
Right.
There's a way that you expose people. And when a person in the industry of any, could be acting, singing, whatever, there's certain people that are like virtually untouchable, where you literally have to come with like a videotape of this person saying, a videotape, oh my God, a videotape, how old am I? A video saying, is showing that this is what they said on this day, and really like incriminate them. So by Monique having an audio tape, did you know that she had like an audio tape of Tyler Perry, you know, of a discussion that they had, trying to expose that he was apologizing to her for how she felt, and but just speaking on his behalf, not answering for anybody else. But I felt like even before that happened, there was something that was missing between Monique's, you know,
audio.
Like, yes.
Yeah.
And what her actual complaint was with or against Oprah and all of them. So you have the Monique side, that's a comedian, right? That we respect. Everything else, she just won the award. Then we have this other side where people were mad at her because she didn't really do any red carpet events in promoting for Precious. You know, she has 2 twin boys, I think, or a boy and a girl that she has with her husband. And I think she has an older child. And she was talking about, I didn't want to travel with my family, and I don't really have to promote any film that I've already been paid to star in. Once you got my check, that's it. But I said to myself, I mean, I've been an extra in a few little small projects here and there, but I've never been asked to be on the red carpet. If I were to be, I would be right there, because that's more exposure for you. Yeah. You know? And so people were trying to put together, why was she acting this way? Why did she not do that? And it all came back to her husband. So her husband manages her, right?
Okay.
And I forget the name of the business. So I'm going to break it down, and then I'm going to ask you some questions. So one portion of people's arguments is that Monique is being controlled by her husband.
Okay.
To me, when I get married, I can call my husband whatever the fuck I want to call him, right? Absolutely. If she wants to call her husband daddy, she can call her husband daddy all day long. Who are we to judge, right? But if I'm calling my husband daddy because he is controlling me, my mind, body, and soul, and messing up my career, no thank you.
That's a whole nother story.
Whole nother story, because no partner of mine is going to mess up my bag.
Correct.
And so we have the one aspect to, I want to ask, do we blame her husband, okay, for what he may be influencing her to do? Now, she did lose a lot of weight, which is a good thing. I guess he has promoted her health, you know, encouraged her to get healthy. But overall, the bad management, which is being pinged on her husband. 2, the way that she goes about exposing people that come for her, can she be really blamed at her approach, because it's her feelings, her choice, right?
Absolutely.
And the same way I feel, when I get upset, I say whatever the hell I want to say, and however you catch it is how you catch it. But then I have to remember there's repercussions for the things that I say. There's going to be a backlash for how that person or persons may interpret that vocal expression. So we have the
Correct.
husband to blame. We have the way that her approach to complaining, and then do we completely disregard her for people not believing that there's an actual issue with her just altogether, because now she's back in the spotlight just a little bit with 50 Cent's help, right?
Right.
And she was booked to do a huge show with DL Hughley. Did that show even happen, or it didn't happen?
No, it didn't happen.
Okay, so we have that too, where this another opportunity to bring her back out to show the world, okay, you know what? It ain't even about him, it ain't about her, it's about this bag. And I'm going to show you guys who I really am. I'm a comedian. I do, a good job at it, and I'm burying all of the bad blood. Right. So these 3 different issues, we need to figure out what's the motive behind it, and is her career really over? So I want to get your opinion on the first topic about discussion, which would be, what did I say? I'm so old. What did I say the first one was? What did I say? Anyway, just give me your opinion, because I don't messed up done talking the damn circle.
I have some things I want to touch on with the Monique situation. How long has she been married to her husband?
Don't give me the lying, but I know it's been over 10 years.
Okay.
At least 10 years.
So what's this new attitude with Monique? Like, I don't agree with it, because the people that ultimately can give her jobs are gonna blackball.
Yes, she's been blackballed.
And I love what 50's doing. I love all his shows.
Me too.
But his shows, it's like 8 episodes a season. She's kind of bigger than that,
Yes, absolutely.
So, she might feel a little heat with that. And the people that she's coming after, she's known for years. So I don't know if that she couldn't have worked that out behind closed doors a little bit.
Yeah.
Because you being in the industry should know that once you start letting out secrets, people tend to not talk to you.
Yep.
At all. So
absolutely. Because they're afraid of what you may say about them.
Right. So it's definitely something that you would think that her husband would have advised her on, since he's her manager, but
See, but that's the thing though. So apparently she's had issues in the past, and she's saying, I'm no longer going to be silenced. I have a voice. I can say whatever I want to say. Right. He has my back. He manages me, Black Power, all this stuff.
Right.
So where was all of this back in the day, when she was really going through it, or had issues with management, or with bookings, or with other celebrities? How come she wasn't as extra with it? That's why I'm saying, is it her husband?
It sounds like her husband has put a battery in her back.
Her battery, yeah.
But he hasn't taught her advised her on how to do it in a tasteful way, so to speak.
But what if his way isn't tasteful, and that's why it's coming out the way that it is right now? What if Monique's husband's way of her sticking it to the man is the way that he handles his own situation with it? I don't even know nothing about this dude. I don't really know if she is his only client, if he's managing other people, how they even meet. I try to do some research, but the dude is a little strange to me. So
yeah. So if you didn't find anything, it's probably just her.
Yeah.
But it's like a touchy situation, because I don't want to. Monique is a legend. That's my opinion on her. I think that she has a strong will. But I just think the way that she's going about it is a little. Hopefully things work themselves out.
Yeah, I agree.
DL Hughley, funny comedian, definitely a legend in his own right.
Absolutely.
So I definitely wish things would have been worked out behind closed doors, besides everything being so public,
Yeah. Now, did you actually read or hear about the full gist of that situation?
The only thing I heard about in that situation was the that they started getting a little in depth with family,
Okay.
and I'm not a fan of that.
Me either.
And that also shows how tight they work behind closed doors.
Hmm.
That she knows so much about DL Hughley, and
Yeah.
he knows so much about her. So that's another thing. Like in this new age we live in, of social media, it's like people find social media as an outlet instead of communicating one on one, and that's a big problem that we have today.
Absolutely. And the outlet, sometimes people forget that it is worldwide.
Yes.
You know, so back in the day, let's say if you and I had beef,
Right.
I go tell the block, man, this man ain't shit, you know.
Right.
Don't mess with him, you know, blah blah blah, whatever. And
Right.
then the hood may hear about it, and then
That's
it's
it.
done and over with in a couple of weeks. Now
Right.
it's like, if we have a beef, we're gonna go on Instagram Live.
Yes.
It's gonna be shared on the Shade Room, on
Details,
TMZ, everything. And your career's done. Now you
Yeah.
got who's coming after me. So the question is this: so with that situation, so Monique and DL both were booked to be on the same stage.
Mhm.
On the flyer, DL's name was in bigger lights, apparently.
Okay.
And she was there to be obviously there on the bill or the card, whatever
Right.
you call it. But it was apparent that he was a headliner.
Okay.
Some people, so her argument was her management, aka her husband, was the one that signed all of the documents with the knowing that she was going to be headlining. Oh no.
Okay.
Yeah, headlining, which means closing the show, right? Because
Right.
the headliners are the ones that close the
Right.
show, right?
So,
They're
correct.
so big that with like even major artists don't come out first. You want to close the show to give
Sure.
all the little people or the
Correct.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Give them the chance to get their stuff out. And so Monique said, okay, we have a contract, it's out there, you know, I was supposed to be headlining. Here's a contract, y'all can look at it. She even posted it. He's lying. He's trying to, you know, just tear me down, blah blah blah, whatever. And DL said, nah, this is a contract right here. Y'all look at this. And so I looked at both contracts. Monique's husband, they had their own contract for Monique. The contract
Separate.
wasn't actually from the booking agent or whatever per se.
Right.
And I watched this other YouTube's channel, and he was saying when he gets booked, his manager, his PR, whoever, it's like levels to who has to agree on and sign whatever contract or documentation is handed to that you know, celebrity or whatever.
Right.
It's all has to be in agreement on both sides. And so what Monique had presented was her and her husband's their own separate contract of what the hell they were asking for.
Correct.
And so DL didn't know anything about that. And so what happened, in my opinion, is that both of them got played by this booking agent.
Right.
To make them both be on the stage. And
both think they were the headliner.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so before the show could even get started or even go on, to know, because I would be very mad too, like I am not going on before him.
Right.
And somebody did apples to oranges with the two of them. DL has been touring. He's been doing a lot of stuff. Remember, he even caught COVID a year ago because he was out here doing stuff on, you know, ooh, it was sad. He fainted too. That was really embarrassing. But Monique, she should have humbled herself and said, you know what? First of all, I don't know what her money looks like, but if you've been blackballed as long as she's been blackballed, they say it's been like 10 years. I said, damn, has it been that long? Because Precious came out a long time ago. Yeah. So why would she not be humble and take advantage of this opportunity? But I think it's more of the fact that, hold on, somebody in the comments says, why would Monique believe she would headline over DL? That's what I'm saying. But again, I don't think that that's what Monique even cares about. Because if you're humble and you're trying to make a comeback, you're going to get in line wherever you need to be in line to redeem yourself. This is like a redemption moment for Monique. I don't want to see no person of color out there looking stupid. Even Bill Cosby, which breaks my heart about this whole situation, because I saw a clip of the Cosby Show, man. I looked at it and I was like, dang.
Who would have known the monster behind the show? But anyway.
I can't eat Jello pudding no more.
Yeah, can't eat no pudding.
It's all bad.
Nothing.
But
nothing.
Again, she is being controlled or coerced by something or someone that I feel is behind the scenes, and no one can be blamed, in my opinion, except for her husband. And so with her and the DL situation, I think that they both are getting played, and now you have two major comedians that have both vocally said a certain thing. So you had said earlier, well, you know, Monique and DL must have been, you know, like cool or something with each other for her to know personal stuff,
personal things. Yeah.
But I don't know if you knew, but DL is the one that made this public that his daughter was actually assaulted. By, yeah, was it like a school friend? A
school friend or something like that, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people kind of got it like confused that it was actually like a grown man, or some people were saying it was friends of DL, like a grown man friend of DL, and that's what Monique was saying, because she heard the wrong thing. She is like, a lot of people got this rumor that his daughter was messed with by a grown man, a friend of his, and she was saying like, why aren't you over here, you know, worrying about your daughter that was assaulted? I was worried about that. First of all, any Black father, if something happens to their son or their daughter, they're gonna go crazy. Crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And the fact that he shared it either means that he got his daughter's permission to do so, to bring awareness, or he just felt the need to do it. But once you put that out there in the universe as a celebrity, because what you and I are talking about right now, not that many people are going to watch it unless I become famous tomorrow. You become famous, and people dig up an old archive on us. You know what I'm saying? Right. So we can talk candidly, but for them, they have to be strategic about the shit that they say, because it's going to mess them up. Right. So, you know, again, you know, I think that Monique really, really, really may have completely messed up her career. And especially with this, because when you talk about someone's kid, their child, in a way, even if she's like, because you know how she'll say baby, honey, oh sweetie, it's still condescending. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So, you know, I think that pretty much between her and DL, if they don't let this go and just make amends over it, it's just going to be something that will probably both haunt their careers for years to come.
Absolutely. And I don't think everyone is going to be so quick to work with Monique after this. No matter how things are patched back together, you know?
Yeah.
It's sad because, you know, it's like you brought it up. Precious came out a long time ago, and we haven't seen her get a big role like that since. So I hope things work out for her with 50, and maybe working with 50, she might, you know, her husband might get some more experience in the managerial world.
Yes.
And know how to smooth things over with certain people, you know?
Absolutely. Somebody in the comments says, anything that comes out of any media platform, you are vulnerable for any repercussions. That's true.
Absolutely.
There is no filters when it comes to, you know, exposure, I should say, because whatever you put out there, like I said, it's just...
And it can come back.
It can come back. And even regular interviews, like, you know how, for example, you'll be seeing clips of like a person talking, and then you'll see like a 2-second clip, and it's something hella like crazy. You're like, they said that? Yeah. But we didn't watch the whole entire, you know, interview that pieced together a little bit of what they said, because in that moment, we're just like, oh my God, this person's crazy, not knowing that they said blah, 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 that little snippet, and then added on to it. You know, so Anyway, so for right now, I think that we're gonna have to just let Monique rest where she is. You know, if she
Absolutely.
can come back, if she can be redeemed, if she can see the light, then yeah. But I don't think 50 Cent helping her and her being an extra. You know, basically, if she doesn't have a lead character role, that's going to be like on a Law and Order or whatever.
Correct. And it can backfire because, you know, 50 is a funny guy within himself.
He
If
is.
things don't go his way, you know?
He will troll you to the
Yes.
end of days.
Yes.
And
So,
especially, and hopefully she won't borrow any money from him because he's still coming for Tierra.
yeah, absolutely. And he don't stop either. He keeps going. So he'll troll her forever.
Absolutely. So one thing that we had discussed about talking about was Black love, right?
Okay.
So we can segue into this because Black love is what Monique and her husband are supposed to be displaying, because in their mind, I think that Monique thinks that she has a strong husband that has her back, that's guiding her, being a leader, and he knows what's best for her. I don't know what type of Black love that is, but I don't want it.
No.
Because, honey, ever since I've been with you, I've been losing money. She lost weight, but she lost money too.
She lost weight. She lost money since she's been with him, you know.
I don't want that type of Black love. The type of Black love that I want, and even in this climate, a few friends of mine were talking about firearms, right? Firearms in the Black community and the Black, you know, in Black homes. And she was asking my opinion on having a firearm. And I said, look, I'm very terrified of guns, but I have shot some before.
Okay.
And I feel like if they are in the right hands, guns serve a purpose. You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
And,
no, you've gone to the range and everything?
Yes. Okay. I went to the range one time, and I've never been back.
Was it an intimidating factor?
Huh?
Was it an intimidating factor, or was it okay?
It was intimidating because in my mind, I just envisioned shooting, and it's pow, 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 and then it's like, you know, you go for the target, and hey, whatever, a little loud, whatever. When you're in a gun range, it's not just you and your gun. It's other people with their guns.
Right, correct.
And it's a lot of pow, pow, pows going off at the same time. And I'm thinking in my mind, I'm in World War III. My ears are ringing. It's a lot going on, and you can feel the boom of every shot in your chest. So it was a lot. It was just too much for me. But I really feel like I need to go back to get over that fear, because I feel like I need to be one of the people that has a weapon. Oh, I have weapons.
Right.
So don't try it, people. Don't come in my home.
All right.
But I don't have any, you know, firearms in my home. But I say that to say, you know, I feel like the low percentage that they say that of Black people that have guns in our homes, it's too low, because we have people that are violating people's personal property, home invasions, people that break into your house to try to sexually harm you or your kids. There's weirdos out there, and especially with hold on, what's it say? There's a splinter group that believes if Black love is okay. Yeah, well, there's, you know, with our children. I don't know if are you a father?
Yeah.
Happy belated Father's Day.
Thank you.
You know, we have to be careful as parents to really what's the word I should use?
Protect
monitor
our kids.
Huh?
Protect our kids.
Well, yeah, we'll protect our kids, but monitor what they do and who they interact with, because there's a lot of kids that invite strangers into their home, you know, or strangers into their personal space, strangers, you know, so I say that because speaking of intruders or people coming into your home, there's a lot of young kids that get online and they talk to different people, not knowing that sometimes these kids that they may think are the same age are actually grown men or grown women that are predators. And they'll give their address away. Oh, you can come over and come play video games with me. You know, my father is gone. You know, my mom doesn't get home until 2 a.m. Come on over. before you know it, that person's in your home while you're gone.
Right.
So, I don't know how we can change or how we can educate ourselves as Black people enough so that we can have a gun just to protect ourselves, just in case, and especially, in most states you can have a gun, but you may not be able to conceal and carry, keep it on you out in public, but
Right.
to have it in your home, underneath your mattress, by your bed, that's what we need more of. What do you think that we can do in order to grow the numbers of us to have firearms in our homes as Black people?
I think that Black people need to seek out their police departments and find out how to get gun licensing in their state, county, districts across America.
I agree.
I think it's too common for Black people not to learn how to shoot a weapon.
That's true.
Because personally, I've since probably the age of about 21, I've always consistently gone to the gun range about 3-4 times a year. So I think everybody should have that type of training.
Yes.
Protect yourself, protect your family. And a lot of laws are changing as we speak to make nothing's going to be concealed in a minute. So
absolutely.
How
do you feel about automatics in the home? How do you feel about stuff like guns like that?
I honestly feel that nobody needs an automatic weapon.
Me too.
And some of the new design weapons, the 100 drum, it's like it's a military arsenal that some people have. Some people in America are born and raised on guns. And Black people very much need to be aware of that, just look at some of the things that have gone on in the South recently. Black men running in the morning, getting chased down, shot and killed by people.
Yeah.
So it's very. People need to be very educated in gun control and how the laws will affect them.
Yeah. Somebody in the comments said, I guess it's the name of a book, Negroes and the Gun, The Black Tradition of Arms. He said, look up NAGA, Naaga. I'm trying to get him to go live with us. This is my best friend, but I have to look into that and see what he's talking about. It's just, we need to be protected, especially right now after the Capitol riots.
Yes.
And all of these school shootings that are starting back up again. One of the best things and worst things, because people should never associate one of the best things with this pandemic. But when the schools were closed, there was no kids getting killed. There was no news alerts of another school being blown up or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
correct.
It's just really sad, but it's like guns are needed, but if they're properly used, operated, and obtained, and operated, and also too, when you have a gun, having a gun case with a lock on it, or if you have little kids, that you don't have it anywhere where they can get it, because some people believe, okay, I need to have this gun. Yeah, because actually that topic about Avatar, I've heard some Illuminati base. I said, what? Yeah. And so, because I love Avatar.
Right.
Did you see it?
I saw bits and pieces. I didn't see the whole thing, but it definitely had a Black Panther feel to it.
Absolutely.
So, absolutely. It definitely had a Black Planet feel to it. Black Panther feel to it. I really took it back just now.
Oh my
Wow.
God. So weird.
Yeah.
Like I was on there too. Guilty.
Yeah. That was the best.
Yes, it was, honey. I think I probably, man, I may have missed my husband on there because I was like, this is not just a chat. Imagine Black Planet. I don't even know if it still like exists, but I wonder what it would be compared to now with social media and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because
right.
I was like, MySpace days. Those were the days, man.
Those were the days.
Fun.
MySpace. Those were the days.
Do you remember back in the day where? Did you ever write love letters to a girl that you liked?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. With the boxes and everything.
Yes!
Say yes or no.
Oh my God.
Little heart with the box. Absolutely.
And then you were like, the guy would write, do you want to go out with me? And then the girl would write no and send it back and you'd be like, oh damn. To me, if I was to do that would hurt more than
anything.
Huh? Yeah.
Yeah.
That was like innocent love, you know what I'm saying? I was talking to a friend of mine. I was like, I remember when guys used to beat me on my beeper and put 143 like I love you. I'm like, I know you lying, but it used to be like, oh, yeah. I would stare at that 143 for weeks.
What we would have to go back in those days. Sheesh.
I'd do anything to get back to that love. I ain't gonna lie.
Kids ain't never gonna have that.
They will never have that. I would tell you, like, I would wait for this boyfriend that I used to have to write me a letter. And I remember he used to spray his cologne on it. And then I would, write him a letter and spray some little cheap perfume I got from Walgreens, on it for him. And just like be so happy, and God, those were just the days. Now you're just like, you don't know who the hell is in your life and who's who and what people's motives are about,
Who's real, who's fake lifestyles, everything.
Yeah, absolutely. Let me see. I'm trying to get them in here one more time. You have an iPhone?
Me, yes.
Okay. Yeah, normally people with iPhones have no problems going live with me. For some reason, people who have Androids, they always have an issue going live with me, but we'll see. I mean, there's a few other topics I wanted to discuss, and one of them I actually wanted a female to join. It's my bag right here. Sorry, I wanted my female friend to join in because it's around female issues, but I also wanted to get men's perspectives as well about it, which is a Roe versus Wade situation that they have going on, and I may actually center a full discussion on that. You know what I'm saying? Because I really. Oh, you're frozen. He's trying to cut back in. Tank. Hold on one second. Hold on 1 second. Mel, send me a request to join. Mel, send me one and see if you can get in. And then same thing with you, sweetie. Crystal, send me a request. What were you saying?
With Roe versus Wade, it's gonna basically change everything when you really look at it. Guns, you got guns, new gun laws, and now we have, so once again, women are gonna have to travel to different states and it's terrible when you really look at it. And I think that a woman should always have the choice,
The woman should always have the choice, but since the beginning of time, it seemed as if we were fighting to have a voice and fighting to protect our bodies, because I've had discussions before about things like how young is too young for a woman to carry children, in certain cultures and stuff like that. She can be as young as like the minute she hits, obviously the change happens, but the minute that hits, then she gets pregnant, give me 11, 10, and different cultures, different views, different mindsets. But in America, anything goes in certain states.
Absolutely.
A grown man could marry a 15-year-old, and I forget what state. There's like 2 states, I think.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Down south, yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Like, how's that even possible? But I don't mean to be rude when I say this, but when men are in control of laws that are just set in place in order to control females,
correct.
It ends up the way that things are now. Because if I was in a place of power, in the Senate, as a judge, whatever, I there's no way I would ever feel comfortable with voting in something that has to do with males specifically and being like, oh yeah, I don't give a damn. I may not be a man, but this is what I say. There's no other way. Boom, boom. Why would I do that? Like, what would be the gratification if it's something, I'm saying, that's something that only men should be voting on because they're actual men that can actually attest to this certain laws, this law that may apply to them. So if you want to talk about this, they're trying to join in here, but it's still not working. But the topic of abortion is something very tricky and very kind of like, you know what I'm saying?
It's you have different layers to it.
Yes.
You have rape that occurs. So what's going to happen if a woman gets raped and she gets pregnant? So it's I don't think old white men should make laws that dictate women, but that's my personal opinion. The laws of the land are very intricate and biased.
Yes.
So a lot of people definitely have to read and understand the laws that are being made and pushed through, especially now, because it's not a coincidence that the Supreme Court is pushing certain laws through. While it is a conservative control right now. So.
Yes. Do you know why I feel all this is happening? Okay, how do I say this? Okay. We're in a war right now, okay?
Absolutely.
We're in a war. The American people are suffering again for the 3rd year in a row consecutively, okay? We don't know what type of plague is going to hit us next. The monkeypox are here, but then it's like, oh, it's not that serious, but it's like the CDC is like, oh, be careful. You have something new to be afraid of. Don't put those masks away just yet. And COVID's not gone. I have a couple of friends that just got COVID again. And so there's so many things that we are literally trying to put behind us in order to move forward, and in order to just be happy, and in order to even just have a normal mindset. But how do we do that when we can't even protect our own bodies first? To be able to even know that, okay, I know I may have to borrow money to put gas in my car. I know that I may have to wear this mask for a couple more months, a couple more years, but I can get through that. But me knowing as a female who is a former, should I say former? But I've been raped before.
I'm sorry to hear that.
That's okay. Thank you so much. And I got pregnant by the man who raped me.
Wow.
And when this happened, it immediately put me in a place of what the hell? What the hell? It was somebody that I trusted. It was somebody that I cared about. It was my boyfriend. And when it happened, I didn't even know I was 2.5 months pregnant. I'm like, dang, I was only getting big. Now, this is before this mama gut now. I'm like, okay, well, I'm getting a little pudgy around the areas. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so it went from me thinking I was just overweight to my grandmother giving me a girdle. This is a true story, saying, here's a girdle for you, baby. You're looking a little round, to me throwing up over dinner, to me the very next day taking a pregnancy test just because and crying because I was pregnant. But then I'm feeling like Mary, Jesus's mom, like, how the hell am I pregnant? Because I used condoms with this person every single time we were intimate. There wasn't one time we didn't. There was no experiment. We just always did. This person poked holes in the condom and got me pregnant on purpose. Bloop.
Yeah.
So that happened. I knew my family was going to be pissed. I told my family that I was pregnant and that the baby wasn't going to make it, so I needed to terminate it. I never told them the truth that the baby was fine. I just didn't want to have a rapist's baby. I just couldn't look at a baby and look at this child and say, hey, you raped me. Let's raise this baby together. It's mama and dada. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I made that decision, and when it happened, I was so sad, and the traumatic experience that I went through is still with me now. But to know how easy and comfortable I was to go inside of the clinic where I went, to have the procedure and to get through it, there's people there the whole entire time to guide me through it, right?
Right.
And so to know now, if Virginia decides that because I was raped, I have to keep the baby inside of me, find the man who raped me, take him to court, prove through text messages, video, smoke signals, signing that he actually did it, and hold the baby in my stomach the whole entire time, get 8 months pregnant, where they find out, he did do it. Now you can kill the baby? Are you out of your damn mind? Are you out of your everlasting and ever-loving mind?
Yeah.
And that's what I feel like people don't understand. Now, there's extremes. I'm giving you an extreme version of my own personal experience, but I know that, men, you guys are so important to the conception of life. Obviously, without you, there would be no babies.
Correct.
And so you have a voice, and your voice matters too, right?
Right.
But if you impregnate a woman and that woman says to you, I don't want to have this baby, she could be mad at you. She could not know you. Could be a one night stand. If she said, I'm going to have this baby, I'm going to let you know about it. In my opinion, a man, if he really does want to have the baby, you guys can have a discussion. You can sit down. You can pray about it. But if she says there's nothing you can do to change my mind, you got to let it go.
Correct. I don't think a man should ever really have a choice in that matter. A man can give his opinion, definitely.
Yeah.
A man should have the right to say, to put on the table, if it's consenting sex was involved, to have a child. I think a man should have his opinion heard, but ultimately it's gonna fall in the woman's decision, based on the woman's decision, the outcome.
Absolutely. And the thing that makes it so sad, I'm trying to get more people in here. That's okay. The thing that's so sad about it is it's just like you said, there's men that are making these decisions based on what? Most of it, I know that, when it comes to abortions, from the stats that I've seen, Black women, they have abortions at a very high rate. And that, on one hand, they're okay with us killing our babies because they don't want more of us to be in this world anyway. But then, I'm wrong. No, I think it is Caucasian women that have more abortions than Black women do.
Yes, it is.
Yes, excuse me.
Because a couple people actually told me that, and I've never realized that it was more, and that this could also be a race thing, a population thing. Black and brown people population has grown significantly in America in the last 10 years. So,
Yes.
And if other races tend to have more abortions, then certain states can change, and so I definitely think a lot of laws are being passed because of fear of conservative rule. More Democratic votes were going in. In certain states were changing from red to blue, and that struck a lot of fear in a lot of people.
Absolutely.
So now we're seeing the effects of it in certain aspects of it.
We are, but again, there's been so much change. There has been a lot of change that has happened over the years since women's rights came into play. And women no longer had to, use coat hangers to terminate a pregnancy. They have to go and drink a solution that made them sick and almost killed them to terminate that baby. There's, clinics like, Planned Parenthood, even though they're corrupt. I watched so many documentaries about Planned Parenthood because that's where I went when I had my abortion.
Okay.
But, I haven't talked about that to you about that often. Woo, it's corrupt. But, that even though, like I said, I went there and they made me comfortable, these clinics and facilities are here for a reason. They're here so that it's not inhumane for a woman to make her decision to not be a mother. And so you take that right away. I was telling my friend today that you're going to see a lot of women being rushed to ERs, and just bleeding out of control. Bleeding because they done did something, because they were like, well, you guys told me that I couldn't go and have an abortion because I wasn't, a rape victim, or I wasn't this, or I wasn't that. So I did it on my own. And there's, I got into an argument with somebody today, actually, a male. So he had asked me, did you hear about that, Roe versus Wade situation? I was like, yeah. And I was like, at the end of the day, a woman's body is her choice. So, it doesn't matter. He was like, wait, no, I disagree. I'm like, okay, you can disagree, but you're a man. That's what you're supposed to say. And I said, even though I don't want to sound sexist or whatever, but still, you can't really tell me that it's not a woman's body and it's not her choice because you're not a woman. Yes, you're a man that may not believe in abortions or you're pro-life, fine, but you can't tell somebody what to do with their own damn body. There's nothing I can tell you, Al, what to do with your body. There's nothing I can tell you. And so we ended up having a quick little discussion or argument. And before I can even get out and ask him this question, which I'm going to ask you to see how you answer this, he was just like, yeah, well, it starts with the man's sperm, before the man is the one that the egg breaks up. All that stuff is still going past one thing. It takes a man and a woman to have a baby. Right. That baby is in a woman's stomach. At any point in time, if she says, no, I don't want this baby, the baby's gone. Period, point blank. You can talk about the way the baby got there. You can talk about once the baby's here. You can talk about feelings and rules. It's still in a woman's womb. Okay? I wanted to say this to him before he hung up in my face. I wanted to ask him, because he says, I can't control if a woman has my baby or not. Right. I wanted to ask him this, but I'm going to ask you this. Even though you agree with me, how do you think a man can actually force a woman to not abort their child together?
Providing signed documents on like an agreement.
Nope. Because I wrote this shit. I literally wrote, there's only one way.
And what's that one way?
See? The only way you can force a woman to not abort your child is if you physically bind her, kidnap her, tie her hands, tie her legs.
Oh, Lord.
9 months, 10 months, really.
Right.
So that when that baby comes, you take the baby out of her. That's the only way you can force a woman to not abort her child, because you scaring her by the law or scaring her with documents saying, if you have an abortion, I'm going to sue you for $50,000. She can still go and will still go and get an abortion. Say, fuck you and fuck this paperwork. Right. You can pray with her. You can have a spiritual enlightenment with
pastor,
her. All that. You can put holy water down on her. You can beg her with diamonds. If she doesn't want that child, honey, you cannot force her to have that child. And the only way that it is possible is by literally forcing her physically to have that child. And because that's extreme and nobody's going to do that, men have to just chill the hell out. You can get mad because it takes two people. Yeah, there's a lot of women that play games. Oh yeah, I got this man. Yeah. I got pregnant by this man. I'm gonna get a check out of him. That's fine. But unless you can prove that you were raped by that woman and she took your sperm and drugged you or whatever, then you have no case. You guys both consensually brought a baby into this world. I mean, and there is some states, like for example, if you and I were an item and I told you that I was on birth control. Right. And so we decided to do something intimately, and you have proof of me saying, yeah, I can't get pregnant. I had a hysterectomy. And then I end up pregnant and I'm coming to the court with documents to try to get money out of you. You can use that to sue me. Right. Which I didn't know. Certain states, like men are protected, hella protected in certain states.
In certain states. States. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, go ahead.
It's just, I heard today on CNN and a couple of news outlets that this is not over.
Ooh,
gay
really?
marriage is next. That's another vote that's coming up. It's a lot of things that are certain agendas are going to be pushed, and it's up to people to learn the laws that are passed and do your own research.
Yeah.
Because they said even though Roe versus Wade was overturned, governors in each state have to abide by it, so they could like in a way filibuster it for some time being before things get too drastic.
Yeah. Well, again, there's always hope and there's always time, and legislations and all kinds of things can be overturned or outruled or whatever the case may be. But it starts with people, men, that are in control, actually deeming something to be out of their control, or them having a little bit of compassion to want to just overturn that decision. But I don't feel women are valued still in this world. And I said this, so a discussion was had that women can't even be women anymore. Okay, a lot of women feel that they can't even be women because they can't even protect their own damn body, right? And that men want to take over everything so much. And this person said, men want to be us so bad that they even get titties and they get ass to be us. Now they want to take over our damn vaginas and say that we can't have abortions. They want to be us so bad. They want to rule over every decision that pertains to us, our rights, where we can eat, where we can drink, where we can cook, what we can do with our own body, how we can condemn a rapist, how we... Men want to be us so bad. So where do women go? What island do we go to in order for us to be protected, in order for us to get the same type of high level jobs that men
I don't know, but I know a lot of people, a couple of friends of mine yesterday were actually talking about moving to Canada.
Yeah.
I've heard that out of a lot of people's mouths, Canada.
Yeah. Yeah. Wakanda, I'm waiting for Akon to do that.
Yeah, everybody moving back to Africa.
I'm going, man. Look out. Get your passport, dog.
Got it.
Listen, I'm working on mine. Listen, 10 years, it takes 10. I don't care about me. 68, I will be right. Let me in. Look, I'm straight right there. Because this shit ain't it. And no. It really isn't. And I'm so fearful, for our kids. I'm so fearful of their future and the confusion and the confusion that they're dealing with. And so although these young kids are really changing the world with their with technology, with their understanding of human rights, the understanding of racism. You know, they're changing the world, and I appreciate them for it. But at the same time, you know, they don't even want to call themselves girl or boy anymore, which nobody has to. Again, it's still your body, your choice. But to say, well, I don't know what I am. I don't know what I see in the mirror. What? Like, where is this coming from? You know what I'm saying? And it's still just like, you know, in the movies and what's being fed. But I don't want to get too deep because I don't want to offend anybody. I love everybody. But before I close, I just wanted to say that, you know, if more people would just sit down, think about what they say, who they affect, what type of impact words actually have.
Right.
This world would be a lot better, because I don't have to like a damn thing that you do, Al, but I do and I should respect you. You know what I'm saying? I should respect you. If you're not hurting anybody, if you're not breaking any laws that, you know, will me and my livelihood, do you? You know, as a Black man, you have enough stuff to worry about versus trying to figure out, you know, this little dumb shit. Every day you walk out the house, you're a target because you're a Black man. Right. And the last thing I want to do as a Black woman is to add on to that, you know what I'm saying? That stress.
Right.
So, you know, as people, we got to come together more. We got to really educate our families. I'm saying this because I got to do it more for me and my own as well. But we have to promote, you know, like you were saying, Black love, you know, the you know, education of gun control and well, of guns in general, just little things like that. But also obtaining Black wealth, you know, that's important too.
Real Black wealth, not
real,
you know, cosmetic Black wealth.
Absolutely,
it's a difference.
Yes, it is, with land that, you know, we own, that we can build on, because, you know, that's what I'm really waiting to see. Properties, you know, just Black owned, like cities, you know, and without any discrimination behind it, but having a little bit of
without another Black Wall Street happening.
Absolutely, because I learned about that, which was so sad. Burn everything down because you're just so mad, just so mad because they don't want us to be great, and it's sad, you know. Like, and this is something I'm gonna say real quick. So that hashtag Black Lives Matter, you know, when it came out, you know, I thought, oh my God, this is wonderful, right? I'm like, oh my God,
I had a false sense of hope.
Huh?
I had a false sense of it.
Yeah, but I still was like, man, this is real catchy and I like this. You know, Black lives do matter. And then I remember hearing somebody said all lives matter, and it wasn't a white person, it was a Black person. I'm like, you know what, you're right, all lives matter. And then somebody had to correct me and say, no, boo. Every little thing that pertains to us, because even if, you know, we do know the real story behind the Black Lives Matter, but just say if it wasn't, it was just a pure actual term for us, by us, to protect us. Right. And my friend was like, why do other races always try to take away our moment of shine and what we have and what we want to protect? And yes, all lives do matter, but can we have something? Can we have something that just pertains to us, whether it be Wall Street, whether it be, you know, just anything? And so I said, you know what? You are right, but it will take us to start to love us first before
we can love anybody else.
No, well, not
because that's not actually right. Like,
no. Not love anybody else. We have to start loving us before we can see the Black Wall Streets again.
Correct.
Before we can see, you know, the whole villas that are Black owned, the whole, you know, cities and the that's what I'm talking about. Not to love others. I love everybody. I'm talking about we have to put the guns down and stop killing each other. Right. We have to, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I took a pause in between that, but I remember when Nipsey got killed. I didn't know Nipsey. But I heard his music. I wasn't a fan of his music.
I wasn't a and it's funny how Nipsey has been glorified since his death. I
still don't get it.
90% of Nipsey fans came after he died.
Yes.
I just call a spade a spade.
Yes, that's true.
But he had a lot to say. He was very articulate, very intelligent. But
yes, he was.
But it just goes to show, like, what's pumped in music and media. Because if Nipsey was so great, we didn't hear nothing from him. Basically, his last album, you know,
I still can't name one song.
Right.
Not to be scandalous.
Most can't. And you know, you're in Virginia, right? So it's like, you know, it's just a different. It's just sad, you know, that music sometimes in media promote certain things. Because even if you look at music, you had different genres.
Mm-hmm.
You had your good rappers, your conscious rappers, your gangster rappers.
Yes.
Now you don't have as much.
No, you don't.
And the same as in media, you know. Either you can't be both. I find myself, and I'm being perfectly honest when I say this, I've voted Democrat for most of my life.
Okay.
I see a change because it's to the point that you got to look at every candidate different, no matter what side they was on. And it's almost, and it might offend some people, it's almost ignorant to vote with a Pacific Party and not look at the individual now. Because some Democrats don't do anything for you.
Yes.
So, you know, and you look at some of the conservative left-wing views that are being pushed, I don't see the pushback. So
yeah.
So you know, it's a lot of things people need to look at in this world right now.
There's a lot of things, and also to piggybacking, bandwagging, all these things, like you said with Nipsey, people just, oh my God, he passed away, and his girlfriend's Lauren London, that everyone thinks is so fine now. He's a great rapper of all time. No, you got a crush on Lauren London, and now you want to know who the fuck this man it was. That's all it is. I'm sorry, you know, because I said to myself, I said that to say this. I had put on social media, on Facebook, saying, who is this dude? I don't know his music. And I said, on top of that, I'm like, wasn't he a crib? I said, doesn't he rap about gang banging? Right. But this man passed away and he was gunned down. And now he's I don't know, I forget if martyr is a good word or not, but now he's like this hero and he's like the best.
I think he had a good message. I don't think his message was heard while he was alive.
Okay.
And I think that, you know, especially in the Black community, dealing with violence at the level that we deal with, most men don't get a chance to mature, so to speak, you know?
Yeah.
People look at Tupac, Biggie, to go back to them. You can look at Martin Luther King and Malcolm X. They didn't live to be 50s and have their mind change and grow old.
Yeah.
It's almost cool to grow old these days, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I totally agree with you. You know, you just, you know, we can't take anything on face value. No matter what we see, we have to research it. We have to double check it. We got to research it. We got to just really know what the hell we are ingesting before we are like, okay, yeah, I'm going along with this too, because everybody looks like me is going along. You know, I didn't vote for Obama. I had never voted. The first time I ever voted was when I voted for Bernie.
For Bernie? Okay.
Yeah, like I really, like, I did some research and I saw how he was down with Martin Luther King Jr. and stuff. I'm not a politician, girl. Like, I'm just not one of those. I just don't know too much about it. But I said, this is going to be the year that I go because my friends grilled it. You better that. Everybody who gets on my butt. What am I voting for? Everybody's corrupt. Everybody who's in the...
But we got to vote.
Local vote.
Local
votes are the best ones, in my opinion. I'm sorry. This whole presidency shit is bullshit. The local ones are the ones that
directly affect you. They directly affect you.
Yeah. So I can vote on topics where, I can make sure that kids, I would really love if I can vote to get more Black curriculums in schools. That would really make me happy because, I run into kids all the time and they're just like, oh, we don't really have anything. We don't really have any, subjects in world history about us. What? Still? They still aren't talking about Black history like that? It's still Harriet Tubman and I'm over it. Well, thank you so much.
Well,
we've been talking for a while now.
For a minute.
Hmm?
For a minute.
Yeah.
It's been very, very enlightening.
Sometimes.
Had a great time. Thank you for
Yeah,
having
likewise. And we'll definitely do it again.
Absolutely.
Oh, you're welcome. Do you have anything? Or do you sing? Do you rap? Do you have
I don't do
going
none
on
of that.
With your life?
I don't do none of that. Not on this one. Maybe we'll talk more about that later.
Okay. Well, next time, I'll have more people come in. But sometimes, like this has happened before, where people had either like their reception went bad, and they had they got kicked out of the chat, and they couldn't come back in. It's the weirdest thing. I don't know why, but this whole countdown thing, how it kicked us out when we were talking, I don't know what that's about because I've been live one time for over 2.5 hours. So I don't know why it kicked us off, but I feel like there were some unseen forces that be.
Never know.
And somebody could have reported something, but we ain't doing that here, honey. That's what we're not going to do. I worked too hard to get this little, probably got 100 followers now. Hey!
Well, it was beautiful talking to you. And thank you for having me. And take care.
You too.
All
Peace.
right. Peace.